So here's with another video, and then another key part of chess is something called tactics, which is like moves or sequences of moves that win material and a way to take advantage of the opponent's moves, and with tactics and tactical moves. And so there's various types and certain specific moves. The most simple is probably called a fork. Probably the most simple one is called a fork, and the main most common ones are fork, pin, skewer, and fork, pin, skewer, check, and double attack, and perhaps also checkmate. Check and checkmate might be considered tactics, but fork, pin, and skewer are the most simple. And right here we'll be covering the fork. A fork is when you attack two pieces at the same time. There's multiple ways of doing this. Frequently one of the most effective is doing it with a pawn. You can do it with any piece, I think, and usually it works best if you attack the pieces of higher value. So for example, a knight attacks a queen and a rook or something, that'd be a fork. Or also if you can check the king, like if the knight gives check to the king while attacking the queen, that's another version. But right here we only have the king and the pawns, so we're going to show an example with the pawn. The pawn moves up 2 because it can move up 2 on its first move. And then remember the attack's diagonal, so white would move up, in this example, up 2. And then the pawn would attack the bishop on d5 and the knight on f5 by moving diagonal both, and it would win material because these are both worth 3, this is worth 1, and then both are attacked at the same time. So if the bishop were to move, if the knight were to move, you take the bishop, and if the bishop were to move, you take the knight. That's why it's called a fork. It's a double attack. The knight on f5 is attacked, and the bishop on d5 is also attacked. It's called a fork. So for example, the knight moves, take this, and then if the bishop were to move out of the way, you could then attack the knight. I think you can see the idea. It's a thing where two pieces, oftentimes of higher value, are attacked at the same time. Pawns are useful to fork, and then also knights are useful to fork, and then any piece can deliver a fork. Even the king can deliver a fork because it can fork 2 pawns, or it can fork. King can't fork a queen or a rook. No, king can actually fork 2 rooks. I don't think it would work good though. Or 2. Wouldn't work on 2 bishops here, I don't think, but it could. The king can fork pieces like loose pawns and occasionally like 2 pieces at once. So yeah, that's the fork. That's one of the most simple and the primary of the tactics. Also pin and skewer, the next one's coming up. And then there's also more like discover check, Zwischenzug, intermezzo, and various types of things like that. And that's a German word, and those are more complicated though. So that's the fork, that's the most simple, and that's the video for now. Thanks.